Hollywood has come a long way in the past few decades, and one of the reasons for that is the amazing use of technology in the modern-day films. And you might already know that many movies use visual effects to enhance the overall viewing experience. But there are still many scenes where you probably just won't realize if it's a real one or enhanced with CGI. Hello and welcome back, and here's a look at the best movie scenes and how they actually look like before and after VFX. So, let's get started. At number 7, Avengers Endgame.
Doesn't feel cool, but if it looks cool, that's what matters.
Going by the numbers, Avengers Endgame became the greatest blockbuster movie of all time by mid-2019, beating the long-standing blockbuster Avatar. But do you know how the great battle fought in Avengers Endgame looked without visual effects? As common with most of the big-budget superhero movies, the most exciting scenes in the movie were filmed in front of a green screen. For instance, there was a scene where the superheroes returned for the big fight by stepping through portals. Here, each portal was created entirely using special effects. Also, there was a famous scene where the Avengers ran straight towards Thanos and his army. Now, to perform this scene, the film stars were just running towards 6 men in motion capture suits. The visual effects supervisor Dan DeLue said that having the 6 people facing the actors helped them figure out where their eyes should move during the scene. Also, the famous scene where Captain America finally gets his hands on Thor's hammer, since he was always worthy of it. When you see this scene filmed in front of a green screen, the moment seemed much less dramatic. So, all behind-the-scenes footage that showed a lot of details, like the superhero costumes and portals, were all created using special effects and green screen. And here are a few more great scenes from that movie with and without VFX. At number 6, Venom. Tom Hardy is known to do films which possess quite a few challenges as an actor, and Venom is one such movie in which he performed quite well. Now, all Spider-Man fans will already be familiar with Venom through previous films, but bringing the villain to life this time round posed unique challenges for the film's VFX supervisor, Paul Franklin. Also, it's the visual effects that drive the spectacle by transforming Hardy's ordinary human reporter named Eddie Brock into a tentacle-sprouting symbiote freak. One of the key things about Venom is while he's still humanoid in shape, he's able to move at incredible speeds and can do extraordinary moves, and never moves like a human being. So, for Tom to look like Venom presented a great creative challenge. His movement and body language became the cornerstone for the VFX work. The way he held himself, the way he rolled his shoulders, and his action sequences. Now, Venom is about 21 inches taller than Tom Hardy. How did they create him? Here, they had some sort of positional reference, probably a ball-shaped object so they could frame that up for the shot. So, anyone talking to Venom's eyes needed to look 21 inches higher directly at the ball. The team even got a tall stunt performer, almost 6'10", and because Venom is actually 7'6", they built him up even higher with a wiffle ball on a stick sticking out of the top of his helmet. Then, through the suit, they had motion capture reference markers all over it, so they could at least track his body movements and get a proper idea of where he was. After that, it was down to the character animators to take charge of the remaining stuff. One more thing that was interesting about Venom were his long and sharp, ugly teeth, and he'll never be able to close his mouth. Here, the length and shape of his teeth were subtly controlled on a shot-by-shot basis. Also, the big teeth you see were given a slightly unclean texture, because if they had made them bright and shiny white, then he would look like he had just been to the dentist and had veneers put on. At number 5, Life of Pi. The movie Life of Pi is truly a visual masterpiece. However, there was nothing easy about the making of this Academy Award-winning film. The ocean scenes, which were quite famous in the film, were shot at a giant wave tank built by the crew in an abandoned airport in Taiwan. This tank is the world's largest self-generating wave tank, with a capacity of 1.7 million gallons. One wall of this tank was even movable so that they could take advantage of sunlight. So, the entire storyline around that boy on a boat, along with an animated tiger, was filmed in that massive tank. Yes, that tiger was actually CGI and wasn't even there during filming. After all this filming, the VFX team then had to work their magic to turn the tank's surface into one that looked like the ocean day in and day out. And to make that ocean look realistic, high-powered wind blowers and strategic CGI work was used to create storm clouds, winds, and the beautiful nightfall. At number 4, the Twilight Saga Eclipse. The Twilight series is quite famous for the werewolf named Jacob, and the female protagonist in the film, Bella Swan, formed a relationship with that wolf. As you can see in this scene from the third movie, Eclipse, they are quite affectionate while Jacob was in werewolf form where she pets him. The scene looked quite natural. But in reality, Jacob was wearing a funny suit and bending down. While it all looked funny, it did take quite a serious performance by Kristen Stewart to actually pull it off. That's because, while Kristen Stewart can play Bella as a human easily, Taylor Lautner, who plays Jacob, can't actually turn into a wolf. And that had to be visualized by the director and his VFX team. At number 3, Harry Potter.
Welcome to your first flying lesson. Well, what are you waiting for?
If you're a Harry Potter fan, then you might very well remember the fictional sport named Quidditch. It's a dangerous sport played on broomsticks. And there are quite a few flying scenes in Harry Potter movies. These flying scenes are filmed differently throughout the Harry Potter series depending on the scene. And of course, it's not actually done in the air. For instance, look at this flying scene. In reality, it involves real costumes and broomsticks being filmed behind a blue screen or a green screen background, where the digital environment is filled in. The VFX team creates the digital environments using a combination of real photography and CGI digital doubles to make for even more frenetic gameplay. The floating books are another cool effect from the movie series. In one of the Harry Potter movies, Hermione is seen holding up books to a library shelf where they float back into place. But in reality, they're grabbed by green-gloved people. There are people standing on the other side of the shelves wearing green gloves and grabbing the books back in. Their hands are removed in post-production, making the illusion as if the books magically float. At number 2, Game of Thrones Season 7. The whole world has gone crazy for Game of Thrones, and the 3 dragons in the series are quite a phenomenon. But, do you know how Dragonstone and the actual dragons were brought to the small screen? Now look at this scene where Dany is seen entering Dragonstone and Jon Snow gets to know Drogon, the biggest dragon in the series. Here, the boat, which is surrounded by ships, waves, and dragons. It was all shot in front of a green screen. And Kit Harington was petting a piece of blue rock, not an actual, living, breathing dragon. Here are a few more scenes which show how dragons were actually created before and after visual effects. So finally, the number 1 movie in our list, and yes, it's a superhero film. Avengers: Age of Ultron. When you settle in to watch a movie like Avengers: Age of Ultron, you know you're going to watch some CGI. But apart from the amazing actors performing their roles to perfection, the credit also goes to the amazing back-end team creating some amazing visual effects. In order to make the villain look compelling, James Spader was zipped into a motion capture suit and given the freedom to breathe some life into Ultron, the titular villain in the Avengers' second outing as a group. Ultron Prime's design needed to be modified to accommodate all of the acting and sophisticated movements James Spader was performing on set. The wide range of sensors and reference cameras also helped in reflecting James Spader's on-set performance onto a character whose face and body were made up of rigid pieces of metal, in which the face alone had 600 nodes of rigging. As in the previous movie, Hulk was the highlight of the visual effects. With the digital character appearing in 50% more shots than in the previous film, the VFX team took a new approach to the Green Giant's muscles and flesh. And it involved building the rig, putting the muscle system on top, and the skin on top of that, to make it 6 times more efficient. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video. And what do you think of these movie scenes? And which movie has the best VFX scenes? Do like and share this video with your friends on social media. For more such amazing things, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And finally, thanks for watching.